Dear students, welcome to the English second paper class brought to you by Amar Ghore Amar School. You know that during the situation of pandemic, the government has taken decision to close down your school. But Amar Ghore Amar School has taken your classroom to your home through Sangsad Bangladesh television. So let's start today's class. The topic that we are going to learn today is change of speech or narration in case of imperative sentence. You may find this lesson at Unit 13, Lesson 1 in your book. Now, what can you see in this picture? In the first picture, there is a shoe lying over there and someone is saying, "Mom, please tie my shoes." The picture that is given below, here you can say that a doctor, he is trying to look at a patient and he is saying, "Open your mouth." In the picture that has been given next to it, there is a person who's doing some exercise and someone is saying, "Do 10 push-ups and 20 jumping jacks." In the picture that has been given above, there are some books and someone is saying, "Mark, do all of your homework before you go out to play." And the picture that has been given at the top of the right corner, there is a pizza and someone is saying, "Please bring the pizza to the table." So as you can see, in all these sentences, either someone is giving command or advice or requesting. So what are this type of sentences called? We know that this type of sentences are known as imperative sentence. So what can be our today's topic? Yes, the topic that we are going to learn today is changing speech from direct to indirect in case of imperative sentences. After today's class, what will be the outcome? After finishing today's class, you'll be able to understand the rules to change imperative sentences from direct to indirect speech. Now let us have a look of what imperative sentences are. Imperative sentences do not normally have an expressed subject. This is because the subject "you" is usually understood. As a result of this, imperative sentences begin with a verb in a simple present tense. So the structure of imperative sentence mostly start with the verb itself, or it can start with please or kindly. So as you know that the subject here is you and it is not directly mentioned, but it is well understood. An imperative sentence expresses ideas such as advice, order, request, suggestions, instruction, permission, allowance, etc. So there are two examples of using imperative sentence in direct speech. In the first example, we can see, "The old woman said to the boy, 'Please help me.'" So someone is begging for someone else's help and the sentence has started with please. So it is very well understood that this is an example of imperative sentence. In the second one, "I said to him, 'Love and obey your parents.'" So you can see that there has been started with the verb love, and it's very well understood that this is an example of imperative sentence because someone is telling you to do so. Now, how imperative sentences are going to be changed in case of direct to indirect speech? Let's look at the rule in a brief. An imperative sentence's reporting verb is changed into order, advise, request, or ask. So as you know that the indirect speech, the reporting verb that we have is either said or said to. But when you are changing it into indirect speech in case of imperative sentence, you are going to replace the reporting verb. How it can be replaced? It can be replaced depending on the mood of the sentence. So it can either be replaced with order, advice, request, ask, and etc. No change of tense. Now this is the simplicity of imperative sentence, that tense is not going to be changed. And thirdly, the connective to is put as infinitive. So we are going to use to here as an infinitive. Let's have a closer look at rule number 1 now. Imperative sentences have different types of emotion, order, command, request, suggestions, and advice. For changing direct speech to indirect speech, please see the reporting verb, and according to the emotion of the reporting verb, said to is replaced with words like requested, advised, ordered, commanded, and suggested. So it completely depends on the mood. For example, if I say, please help me, you have to understand that this is a request. This is not an order. But if I say, do it immediately, this cannot be something as a request, because do it immediately, there is a tone of order here. So you have to understand and identify the tone or the mood of the sentence at first. The words please and kindly are not kept in indirect speech, as the reporting verbs replaced with request, request or requested depending on the tense, already contains the same emotion. So when we are replacing the reporting verb said to with requested, you're already giving the tone of having a request. You don't have to write kindly or please again here. Let's look at an example. I said to him, take your seat. As you can see, the sentence of the quoted speech, it has started with take. That means it's a verb. So the first thing that I have to identify is which type of sentence is this. So this is imperative sentence because it has started with the verb. Now what is the mood of the sentence, or what kind of tone has been referred here? Take your seat. So either it can be advice or it can be an order. So I have changed it into I advised him to take his seat. I advised him to take his seat. You can also write ordered in place of advised here. I advised him to take his seat. Now the first thing that you should focus on here is I have used to plus verb. That means the infinitive. In the second one, he said to Rina, please give me some food. He said to Rina, please give me some food. So since please has been used, it's very clear that it is an imperative sentence and it is a request. Since it is a request, we have used he requested Rina to give him some food. Requested has been used. So we are omitting the word please because this is meaning the same thing. So we are omitting it. And to give have been used as a form of infinitive. Now this is the rule number 2. In imperative sentences, comma and inverted commas are removed, and or word to is used to join both the words. So we are omitting the comma, we are omitting the inverted comma. What we are doing? We are using to. In negative sentence, do not is removed and not to is used in making indirect speech of imperative sentence. So if an imperative sentence starts with don't or do not, we are going to omit the word do not, and what we have to write? We have to write not to. Besides these two rules, all the rules described earlier are applicable to imperative sentences also. For example, I said to the children, do not make a noise. So as you can see in this sentence, it has started with do not, telling someone not to do something. This sentence can be changed in two ways. One is you can either use the verb forbade. Forbade itself is a word that is referring to something negative. So since I'm using forbade here, I'm not going to repeat the word not. For example, I forbade the children to make a noise, not I forbade the children not to make a noise, because forbade itself is negative. So I'm not going to use not to again. What I have to do? I have to do I forbade the children to make a noise. You can also change it in this way. I ordered the children not to make a noise. This is also correct. Now the second one, I said to her, don't mention his name. So the same rule is going to be applied in here too. I forbade her to mention his name, or I can say I ordered her not to mention his name. Now the third one, I said to the children, do not look down into the well. Here I have used ordered. I ordered the children not to look down into the well. As I've said before, you can also use forbade here. Now there are some other examples as well. He said, lie down slowly, Tom. That means the person that the speaker is speaking to is Tom. So we have placed Tom at the beginning. He told Tom as an object to lie down slowly. Second one, don't swim out too far, boys, said the coach. So a coach is giving warning to the boys. So how we have changed it? The coach warned the boys not to swim out too far. The third one, the boy said to his friend, please play that tune again. It's a request. So we have changed it into indirect speech as the boy requested his friend to play that tune again. Order in court. Said the judge to the people in the court. This is a command. For that reason we have written, the judge commanded the people in the court to keep order. Don't write on the wall, he said to May. He ordered May not to write on the wall. And lastly, please don't take any risk, said his wife. So here, please has been used twice. It's a kind of begging. So what we have written, his wife begged him not to take any risk. Beg can also be used in place of requested. Now this is the next rule. If there is let me, let him, let her, in the direct speech, the reporting verb is changed into request or order, and let is changed into might or might be allowed to. For example, he said to me, let me go there. So you know that in case of imperative sentence, we can start the sentence with verb, with don't, with please, and also with let. So if you have let me, let him, or let her, what you are going to do? You are going to use might or might be allowed to. For example, he requested me that he might go there. Or you can write, he requested me that he might be allowed to go there. It's a kind of permission. Someone is asking for permission. For that reason, we have used requested here. Now the second one, I said to my mother, let me have some milk. Now the answer is, I requested my mother that I might be allowed to have some milk. So it's very easy to remember. The other rules will be applied as same. Just if you have late, you have to use might or might be allowed to. And the reporting verb will be replaced with requested. Now this is the fourth rule. If there is let us in the direct speech and listener is first person as in me, us, or omitted, it can be omitted too, the reporting verb is changed into propose or suggest, and we should is used for let. So if you have let me or let us, what you are going to do? You are going to use propose or suggested in place of the reporting verb, and we use let, otherwise they, should is used for let. Let's look at the example to clarify this thing. He said to me, let us settle the matter. So someone is giving a proposal. It is a proposal. For that reason, we have used the verb proposed. He proposed to me that we should settle the matter. He proposed to me that we should settle the matter. So should has been used here because we have let us. Second one, he said to his colleague, let us call a meeting. The answer of indirect speech is going to be, he proposed to his colleague that they should call a meeting. Now these two rules I have shown you here of let is somehow bit difficult from other rules. So you have to keep in mind this one. So I'm going to repeat it once again. If you have let, you're not going to use to here, you're going to use that as a connective. And if you have let me, let him or let her, you're going to use might or might be allowed to. And if you have let us or let them, what you're going to do, you're going to use should. Now let's look at some more examples so that we can have a clear understanding of the rules. The first one, I said to him, quit smoking. Now this sentence starts with an imperative sentence and it is a verb. Quit is verb. So we know that this is imperative sentence. What we have to do, we have to first identify what is the mood of this sentence. Quit smoking, it can either be order or it can be an advice. So what I have done here, I have written as the answer, I advised him to quit smoking. I advised him, since I have told you that mood can be advice or it can be order. I have used advised here. I advised him to, it has been used as infinitive, to quit smoking. The second one, he said to his mother, please forgive me. Now, please has been used. So it's clear identification that it is a request. For that reason, we have written, he requested his mother to forgive him. Requested has been used and to plus verb infinitive also has been used. Third one, my friend said to his sister, do not shout or don't shout. Now this is an order that someone must not do something. So here we can either write, my friend forbade his sister to shout, or we can write, my friend ordered his sister not to shout. So you can use either forbade or order depending on your comfort level. And the last one, they said to me, let's discuss the matter. They said to me, let us discuss the matter. So we have let us here. That means it's a proposal. So how you are going to change it? We have written, they proposed to me that we should discuss the matter. Remember, only in the case of let in imperative sentence, we are going to use that as a conjunction. And since we have let us, since it's a proposal, for that reason we have used should discuss. Now let's have a quick recap of what we have learned today. In today's class, we have learned that an imperative sentence have a command, a request, an advice or a suggestion to change them into direct speech, some specific verbs, that is requested, ordered, advised, forbade, suggested, replace the verb, reporting verb said or told. We have also looked at different rules. We have also looked at how punctuation can be changed in case of imperative sentence. Now it's time for a homework. Dear students, as you can see, I have given you 5 direct speech. All of them have imperative sentences. So what you have to do, you have to change them into indirect speech. The first one, the old man said to the boy, please help me. Number 2, I said to him, love and obey your parents. Number 3, my friend said to me, let us play. Number 4, Jim said to me, please lend me your pen. And lastly, number 5, the doctor said to the patient,